We build things. Just like we built the presidency. Is this gonna start or something?
This is arguably the nicest desk I've ever built, and you'd never guess it's hiding a massive secret. But there's one critical thing that has to work perfectly for this design, and if it doesn't, I'll end up ruining a $4,000 walnut slab that I've been saving.
That shit sound, there we go. No, that shit sound crazy. Go. There we go.
For years. So the goal is simple. Can I hide an entire workstation inside of a clean home desk so that my wife and I can both use it? The problem is, I only have one shot to cut the secret compartment, or I'm gonna ruin the entire project. So here's the plan. We'll kind of build something that resembles a traditional desk, more or less. This thing's gonna be pretty big. The slab's like 40 inches wide. I think we can make the desk about 7 feet. We've got enough room for it. Now here's the kicker. I need a monitor to rise out of the desk. So what we're gonna end up doing is cutting a hole here. Because there's 3 things that we have to do for this project. We gotta make sure that the monitor or whatever I'm putting in this workstation is all hidden completely when it's not visibly risen.
Okay.
2, I gotta make sure this desk functions for.
Last time he did that very hard to get to the monitor. Put it flat and the
both
desk
me
on
and
top
my
of it.
wife, because we'll both be working from it. And
I feel
third,
like there's no monitor.
if this is gonna work,
maybe it is.
I have to make sure that this section we're cutting out is done perfectly so we get the proper grain match for the slab itself. If not, the whole idea is completely wasted, and then therefore the slab's wasted. I'm gonna lose $4,000. We'll cut a hole in the slab after we flatten it, and then the whole thing will kind of raise up.
Okay.
So that when it's up, this becomes a monitor. I like to work from a monitor. My wife has like perfect robot eyes and works on a laptop only with her tiny little screen and whatnot. So this will raise up out of the table. So the problem is when it's down, the solution I've come up with is we'll skirt the table. I can go ahead and put the monitor so that it essentially will sit behind the skirting once it's down inside the table, giving us that perfectly clean looking top.
Okay.
In theory, this sounds pretty simple, but what I've learned in my 12 plus years of building is anytime you try to keep something
that
simple,
stylus sticks on that.
it's bound
that's
to
a
be
fancy thing too.
plus
The
years of
stand.
building.
Whoa, what's going on here? This is fancy iPad stuff.
Is anytime you try to keep something simple,
That's cool.
it's bound to be hard. So let's get into it.
All right, we currently have our big giant slab right here that we're gonna mark out and get ready to cut. So our final length should be about 60 inches. So we're gonna cut this thing a bit heavy, around 70 inches. And what we're currently trying to do is find the flattest spot in this slab, because the slab, it's a very ambiguous shape. It's a little twisted, a little left, a little right. But we're gonna try to find the flattest spots within there. So join us now as we measure, mark,
surface
cut
for this board.
slab.
Is that chalk?
Back when I thought I wanted to be a sawyer and I bought the sawmill, we cut this tree down out of my uncle's yard. And weirdly enough, Jeffrey and I used to play on a swing that was on this tree when we were kids. So being able to bring it into our home now and have my kids at least see it, they'll never understand the nostalgia, but it is something a little bit important to me and to my brother and family. So I think it's just a cool accent to add to the front of this desk here.
Every fucking time. That's the only thing I remember from class, I swear.
The slab has been cut. We're now going to take it to the CNC, flatten her out, and see how thick she is when she's done.
This is cool. This I don't even know what this is. This table that cuts these boards.
Flipped it to
I guess they don't do anything large.
So it's cupped this way. We have the cup side facing up now, so that way we get a little more stability out of her.
Sure.
We're gonna go ahead and get this thing flattened, flipped, and then see what our final thickness of this is.
Holy shit. Am I bugging? No, I'm tripping, right? No. I mean, this is one end, that's the other end. This tree is massive.
We got our walnut slab.
Walnut
flattened
slab.
on both sides. We're still yielding about 2 inches, which is good. However, you can see on that first pass, we have a slight little gappage there. So I'm gonna flip this and see if I could do a very minor little scratch pass just to get it dead flat. Okay. We may do that, or we may just send it through the sander. Alright, so now she's officially flat. So our next steps before we take her to the wide belt sander are going to be cleaning up the edges, doing some epoxy fill, filling any little cracks, voids, or imperfections we see. Then we're going to go ahead and get her sanded and move on through this table making process.
Move on through this table making process. Sand job right here. This is cool. This is gonna keep that curve, those little curves maybe. Maybe not. Or maybe just sand it down.
All right, so we have our sides sanded. We're now gonna move on to our void fill. So we have a few of these cracks and voids here. I think mainly just on this side. So we're gonna tape off on the bottom, mix up some high performance epoxy with some charcoal, fill these guys, let them sit, and yeah, we'll be back later to flatten this old girl. Underneath our crack, we've got the secondary crack. So what has happened in projects past is we have poured set epoxy into the top of the slab, then it's leaked out of the bottom of the slab, and then it's covered the floor and our carts and everything we love and cherish dearly. So we're going to apply some tape to this, and we'll probably clamp a caul board on the bottom too. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and tape this up, throw a board on, and fill our voids.
Okay.
Tape man, yeah, that's you.
So we're working on the legs. The thing that we need to do is find center and then create our shape of what these are going to be. I'm going to square these suckers up here, and so we got to restrike our center line.
Our center line
is my actual new center. So if I go
that was
15
cool. You like marked it
heavy,
with that band, and that band comes like
is my actual new
center.
center.
If you painted it, or does it just come like that with powder? No, that's cool.
So if I go 15 heavy, go 15 and a half, and 15 and a half. We're shooting for like a 30-inch wide base. So see, this side here is not as wide. Hold on. 15 and a half. We're just going to have enough room to skirt inside there. These are just rough cuts so that I can get on the CNC. The more you can cut off before you go into flattening, the less flattening you're actually gonna have to do. This piece that's sticking off here is actually the lowest point on the slab. So just get your shit
as small as you can before you flatten it.
No matter what you're building. So I'm gonna cut this down, we're gonna get on the CNC, get it flattened, then we're gonna make some legs out of it.
All right, we currently have our tabletop flat, our legs flat right there, but now we're gonna sand out all the CNC marks and get it nice and smooth through the old wide belt sander once we get her cleared off there. A lot of stuff in the way of that wide belt sander. It could not be any wide belt sanding done as it currently sits, but we're gonna clean that off, wide belt sand both of these, and then we can move on to cutting our legs and doing some work on the tabletop. Here we go.
What are you doing?
right, so our added feature in this table is going to be a monitor that raises out of the table and then lowers back into the table depending on whether you need or do not need your monitor. So right here we have our lift mechanism we purchased off Amazon. We have our monitor. We're going to go ahead and get everything assembled so that we can get our measurements for the actual box that will encapsulate the monitor, and also so we'll get our cutout size for the tabletop itself.
Booking.com has all kinds of stays because some want a house in the desert.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and get this all assembled, put together, and test it out. And yeah, we'll see how well she works. All right, let's see if she works. I think the left and right arrows are for.
Oh, this is cool. This is a little
that's pretty
nice
high.
Raised monitor.
It's like Karen
I
from
guess I don't
SpongeBob.
know why it's raised, but
All right, so the TV mount's working. It's raising. Will it lower? Let's see.
Okay. Well, I think it's actually
Pretty impressive. Look
it's
how,
actually a pretty nice lift.
yeah, it's like $150 on Amazon. It's not bad.
Oh, yeah?
It has a
not bad. 150
little
for the
plate
lift.
up
Lift is
here.
cool,
We
but
could
I
have
mean,
our
like, I don't know about the
wooden piece
vertical
go
lift.
across.
I
All
mean,
right, we're
he's
gonna
like
go
a-
find John and get the
wheel-
get the rest
a
of
set
this
of
box
wheels or
all
something. I
built
don't
so that
know.
we can get our TV in our desk.
know, the
or
vertical
get our
lift
computer
on the
monitor
monitor
in our
is-
desk.
So to hide it, we're gonna have to put a
awkward,
panel in the front.
I mean, like the
We couldn't really find a great lift mechanism that was any shorter than this. And this
the
one's
triggered one,
at
sure.
max height at 27 and a
down.
half inches.
And what are
So
you using up and down
our
for?
table our legs are 28 inches. So there's not gonna
Right here, maybe,
be
and then you want up there if you
any
stand, I
room
guess?
for it to look like
Sure.
a stretcher,
The
which
desk
is
is
my
small.
initial plan.
Sure.
So to solve that and make it look cool, I kind of started messing around with just some rough concepts here in SketchUp. Here's kind of what I came up with. We'll just do a live
That's cool,
edge
like this.
front.
Got it.
We can hide the box behind, and that
Some wiring
gap
to go
here,
right there,
we'll
maybe.
put like a piece of acrylic behind it, or even just like a black piece of MDF, something to like hide it. And then we'll use we're gonna use a contrasting wood so we can still do the walnut that matches the tabletop on the legs out here. We'll give ourselves a reveal, and essentially these become our stretcher so that when you're sitting on the inside, there'll be a plywood box that hides the mechanism for that to go up and down. And then we also might be able to get like a couple other electronic elements into it because that box is gonna be considerably wider.
Okay.
So this will be a 5-foot span between here, which we have enough material to do. Now that you know what we're doing here, we need to mock up what we actually need to cut
He's
on
building
those.
multiple desks, I guess.
And then what
or
we'll probably
maybe
do
they're
is build
different
the box.
mock-ups,
Air smells different up here.
different rough
Probably
drafts.
whatever fumes are coming out of this. So, we've got a problem. It was foreseen but unforeseen, and unavoidable but avoidable.
What the hell are you talking about?
We're gonna try to solve that, and we're gonna try to solve it with this super gross spalted maple that I drug out of my Uncle Stan's yard
What's going on?
3 or 4 years ago. And I actually do think there's a video on the channel showing that. We're gonna get it laid out. We're gonna pick some pieces and I'll walk you through the problem and how we're gonna solve it.
Slab talk. Hold on. Slab talk. Where you at, bro? Where you going, bro?
Very bottom heavy, so this would have to be the top.
Oh, wow.
It's actually back cut on the whole side over here, so we can't mount it this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm rolling out this slab. I just don't like that, so we gotta shimmy. I've never heard you use the word wicked. Yeah, I think that's the play. So, the way I'm looking at it now, Sam, our best bet is probably let's get a box built out of the plywood or whatever submaterial we want to use. That's going to span the whole width. That'll at least give us a starting point to like get the leg base kind of like mocked up. Cut a sheet to 5x27, and then we'll build the frame that's going to go on the bottom and the sides. And that'll be just like our open webbing for the thing to go up and down in.
All right, after we have formulated a plan on this box here, we're gonna go ahead, take some of this fine pre-finished plywood, make it into a box so that way we could attach our live edge slabs on the front to it, and it'll also provide some coverage for our monitor that will raise and lower, raise and lower, raise,
lower,
and then lower.
Raise,
So
lower.
let's get this made into a box.
That's a nice sheet of wood right there. It's nice. It's like what's it? Oiled up nicely. It's coated. Sure. Coating. This is cool. Build bunker. Build bunker.
We have our panel. This will be the exact size of the box we're going to use. We might consider just mounting the slabs directly to it, give it like a nice firm fixture and structure. It would actually hold it stable over time, or we'll see here. If I was to use this layout, which I think is pretty darn cool, these two pieces right here then will become what you see from the front of the table. They're pretty cool. They've got some cool graining. We've got this kind of a crotch split here. There's some decent little bit of figure. It's more closer to the crotch over here. A bunch of spalting on this side. I am concerned with everything like falling to pieces once we cut it up, but it's kind of the dice roll that you get when you do shit like this. So I'm gonna cut them heavy, and then what I'm gonna do is actually thin them out on the planer a little bit more. Get some fresh wood. These have been exposed to the elements for like years.
Are you ready for this jelly? New Jelly Job. Full lips.
Nice, clean that. Oh, this is cool. I like this one piece. Clean right here. That's cool. Gotta be sensitive. I'm gonna crack that shit. One of this. It's a thick piece though.
Got this down like 1.25 inches. It'll be a little, the wood, the fresher wood I think looks considerably better. I'm gonna clean the edges up to get like that final kind of look we're going on for it. I think I'm gonna have to do a little bit of epoxy, maybe some bow tie inlays. We'll see though. Just gotta go through this next step first. All right, let's take a quick break from the desk build because this is real life behind the scenes stuff we've got here. When I'm in the middle of a project like this one, I'm trying to stay as consistent, not perfect, but consistent with my food. And honestly, food is usually the first thing for me that goes to pieces. And that's where Factor becomes clutch for me. They send like fresh, never frozen meals straight to my door. It requires no prep for me, no cleanup at all. I throw it in the microwave and I'm eating it in about 2 minutes, and then I'm right back to work. The meals actually taste good. I personally love them, and most of them have over 30 grams of protein, which fits my goals. This makes a big difference when you're trying to stay energized and not crash halfway through a project. So if you want to take the guesswork out of your eating and eat better, head on over to factor75.com or click the link below and use the code MALECKIFB50 to get 50% off your first Factor box, plus free breakfast for a year. Thank you to Factor for supporting this video and supporting me. Now I'm gonna finish this up and we're gonna get back to the build. So these are a little punkier than I typically would like for usage in something, so I'm gonna seal them with some penetrating epoxy. You can buy this stuff or you can make it. I got a good old-fashioned Total Boat high performance, and I'll thin it out with acetone and paint it on. Here we go.
So anytime I'm dealing with a slab that's a little bit punky or soft, I always thin out some epoxy or use a penetrating epoxy to harden it up, to give it a little bit more substance and substrate, as well as if you're doing a deep pour, this is gonna be what keeps it from creating a ton of bubbles. It's just a good practice and more or less a safety mechanism for me, because this is gonna be on the front of a desk. We're gonna get a lot of little kids touching and fingering it, and I wanna make sure that it's not falling to pieces in the future. So the table was a little bit long. We're cutting it down to size here and actually making sure it's perfectly square. I also have a vision of using the same wood for the legs, which will basically use the same process. I cut a big chunk off of the leftover, and now I'm jointing that in order to make square legs on the table saw using, traditional woodworking techniques. What I love about this is that I don't have to waste materials. I'll get super crispy, clean Keller match on my legs, and it looks super simple in the design, which is typically something that's hard to do, but fortunately we have the tools to make it easy.
Over there lining that shit up.
All right, the time has come to runner. It's an irregular piece, so there's probably a better way to do this, but I took a piece of square plywood, lined it up with my edge here, used my touch plate to zero my corner, and then I zeroed it off the material after that. So long story short, there's nothing left to it but to do it. So let's see if she works. We're gonna try to put a pocket in this. All right, first big pocket was a success. So now we get to cut our little pocket that hopefully should work out just right so we can have our cap that'll rest on top of our monitor. So I'm throwing an 1/8 inch compression bit in here, and we're gonna cut right out of that same big pocket that we had, and hopefully everything should go right to plan. Here we go.
Hey, real quick before we get into the next segment, I want to tell you about an opportunity to win some badass tools. We're running a giveaway right now on johnmalecki.com, and the coolest part about it is you can finally pre-order our brand new frame in Shop Shades. We're calling them the Protector. Check it out. We've got a bunch of other stuff on there. All the information you need to get entered to win is going to be at the link in the description or this QR code we have for you here on screen. Now let's get back to the build. Okay, so we have the box, Sam's beautiful box built here. Legs are cut to like square. We're gonna mock this thing up, give it a look, see if we wanna make any tweaks or changes before we kind of continue. Pockets ready to rock and roll on the top. I'm feeling pretty confident this is gonna be all right. Sam, if you don't mind. So one of the things I wanna do is accentuate like the desk to have some of my touch, which is going to mean including some bow ties. What I've got here is a couple cutoffs of the actual wood, using the rest. This spalted maple is pretty sick, so I need to rip us down some panels and get those planed. We're going to burn the bow ties out on the laser, and then I'll use my template in order to put them in. That means that everything will be color matched, and I think I always personally like trying to do stuff like that. Okay. Give those like little unique custom touches.
Lights are risky.
The walnut, I'm thinking what I want to do is span on this guy across here. Just give this like, we're gonna have the river gap on this side. Okay. But I do think that this is a nice little. This one might need like
big wood.
One big guy.
You do it just like that.
3 mediums.
Oh, 3 mediums. Okay.
Like 2 smalls. So this one doesn't really matter. So just cut out. We can cut out 3 of each size on the walnuts. As long they just all have to be longer.
Some scrap. Oh, no, scraps.
Orientation wise. So we'll burn these out on the laser table.
Ooh.
Then I got to put them in by hand. Thank goodness for templates. And yes, the template is available on our website, along with all of our other awesome stuff. Best way to support us if you want to do that.
Oh, this table looks nice with this. That looks good. That's the back?
I think it's looking kind of cool. Once we get the tabletop on, you'll see, it'll show you the kind of reveal that we're going for. With that, like just being like kind of exotic. I think it looks boring. We need to get the back panel painted black, which is what we plan to do. Check it out. That'll look all right. You know what we might do, because we have the ability to do it? Joe's favorite thing. LED. We could throw an LED, we could trace on the inside, and then run an LED that shines up, that plugs in when the table's on. This is looking cool. Next thing we want to do is get the tabletop out. We're gonna run, essentially what we're doing is we're running screws on the inside to hold it together for the mock-up, which will then turn into the holes for where we're gonna put threaded inserts, so we have some capacity to let these things kind of expand and contract. Sam went ahead and came up with a brilliant idea to cut this pocket. I was gonna do some crazy shit by hand.
Okay.
Thankfully, I'm not gonna have to. I'm gonna relieve it with my
handsaw?
Temple Tools.
Oh, Temple Tool.
Little saw here. Leaving meat on both sides so I can shape that down. The reason, if you're asking, the reason we did it this way, we're gonna have to have a gap. The wood's gonna expand and contract. You can't hide it 100%. We might be able to like fidget something a little bit to make it look a little more seamless, but also the grain match stays perfect. So that was like the big thing for us. Let me throw some tape on this now.
Top, back. This handsaw is cool. It's a double-sided handsaw. It's just gonna fall out. Well, I guess the tape's going like this.
Sweet. Okay. All right, time to see what we're actually made of.
I like how centered it is. That's nice.
Can we math? We are not good at this. So that does stick up a little bit. So we're gonna have to like
that's why it's going up.
Go over.
It's gonna be hidden. I wonder if there's gonna be anything that
you can drop.
I guess that'd be too much work.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it looks better when it's done, because I don't love it at the moment. I think it looks a little bit too rustic, which nothing I'm doing to it will make it look less rustic. So yeah, we got that going for me. All right, Joe, moment of truth. Let's plug her in, give her a Testarossa. From concept to real world, I present to you a monitor hidden in a desk. Golly, dude.
What's
perfect
going
on the hole.
Can you go?
Amazing.
Excuse me.
I think at this point, all that's left to do is beautify this bitch. Alrighty, so we are on to bow tie o'clock.
Excuse me.
Essentially, here's what I'm thinking. I don't like this gap. We're not gonna fill the big gap. I don't know why. I just like bow ties. They just do something for me, but I hate wearing them. I feel like I look so fat wearing a bow tie because I got this giant neck and I'm like this big ass torso. The bow tie is just like, you know, a traditional tie guy, but I love a bow tie in wood. This is having kind of like a Japanese vibe. I don't know if bow ties fit that at all.
What?
But here's the layout I got so far. We've got 2 bigs, 2 mediums, 3 smalls, small, medium, big over here. We're burning 2 more smalls. I'm gonna put 2 over here to match, to fill this crack, just for a little chef's kiss right here.
Chef's kiss.
Just so you know, it's custom, you know? We can't have people thinking you bought this thing at IKEA. Joe said it gives IKEA vibes. I'm kidding, Joe didn't say that. But to make this go simpler and faster, we do have a template jig. So I will mark all of these out and then I'll just move down
detail, really.
and hit them with the router. Should be pretty fast, I hope, fingers crossed. So here we go.
So my love for bow ties started back when I began woodworking around 2013. I've always thought that they are so cool and that they add a nice custom visualization, as well as obviously the structural part. If you even look back in some of my super old content, I was using bow ties in ways that most people don't really like. And for me, since this project is going in my house, I had to give it that sort of quintessential old school John Malecki touch, as well as I didn't really have the time to pour epoxy here. So I couldn't think of a better way than busting out the bow tie jig, cutting some quick bow ties, and inputting those to give contrast and to keep this thing from getting worse where all of those cracks and voids are. If you've never tried making a bow tie, I highly suggest it. It's a great skill for any level of woodworker. Like I said, think it really does give you a custom look that you can't get from anything that's bought from a big box store.
All right, so we have ourselves some nice powder-coated plates here. We're going to be mounting these on the top of our legs and then mortising them into the bottom of our table. So to do this, I'm going to just go through our regular threaded insert process. And if you yourself would like to learn this threaded insert process, there's actually a video narrated by myself on the bunker right there. Check that video out, but if you're looking to put some threaded inserts in some wood, check that out there on the Builder Bunker. So we're gonna go ahead, get these plates attached to the legs and start getting this old girl put together so that we could then get her into finish.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, the way they screw that in is nice at that angle. I like that. I like that in down. That's cool. That's screw technology right there. Well, that's like a good efficiency and stuff with the wood. That's nice. That's
cool. However you book your car, first check Kayak to compare hundreds of travel sites. Then Kayak. Do what people do. Recheck sites Kayak already.
So to mount this some bitch, we're going with some plates. I don't know where. Sam bought these. Where'd you buy them? Never heard of it. Anyway, pretty common system these days. The only thing that I don't love about these is you have these raised fasteners on here. Like, it'd be nice if they gave us like a countersunk hole or something like that.
True, or a low flat
Complaining
one,
aside, easiest way for us to do this, as well as like make it knock down and less visible, but we do want to mortise the pockets for them. So we don't have a ton of clearance. They're only 1/8 of an inch. What we're gonna do is get this lined up. We'll mark on the bottom, and then Sam will just transfer the mark, make sure everything's nice and square, and we'll cut those on the CNC. Or you could cut a template and CNC. CNC will be better. So
what's going on? What's going on? You okay?
All right, Solo John here. I am working on a kind of a side quest. So because this is for Sarah, but myself included, I wanted to add a little bit of pizzazz. So I've got one of the live edge slabs here for the front. And even though I'm not a huge fan of LEDs, I do think there's a time and a place for them, and this is gonna be one of them. So here's what I'm thinking. So what I wanna do, this is the back of the slab that'll be against the panel on the box. What I think I wanna do is cut a relief as close to the edge as I can get it, about 1/2 inch. And I should be able to freehand this because you'll never see the cut. And then in here, I will embed an LED that when it's in the box will shine up in that little gap that I left between the slabs. I think it'll look pretty cool. Only thing is, there's no template or anything on how to do this. So I'm like I said, I'm gonna have to freehand this shit.
Okay.
Which could get rather squirrely. But I ain't scared.
Squirrely.
So there ain't nothing to it but to do it. Here we go.
Squirrel.
So I'm working on the panel that's gonna go under the desk. It goes inside of here. See this? And so when you get to work with thin material like this, we're putting a magnet on there. Something to keep in mind is, and it's already happening, is bowing. So this thin stuff, when it gets any sort of weather, indoors or out, wants to bow. So
oh, nice. That's a little glue job.
I want it to sit nice and flat, and you can see it's already bowing. So I'm gonna put a rib.
Okay.
This is just some solid maple. I've jointed it on this side so it's perfectly flat. I'm just gonna get it close to the center here, and then I will fasten it in. And since that's being painted, it'll hold and keep this thing nice and flat over time so it doesn't cup and look like shit. And then what I might do is kind of like refine this down after I have it on there or something. Not quite sure. But you do need to think about thin material warping constantly as you build shit if you're making doors or panels or whatever. So I'm gonna get to that, and then we're gonna embed some magnets to get this thing to pop on and on.
Oh, cool.
Nice and quick.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's just gonna be like maybe a quick pop. It's a nice dust. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, plan one's not gonna work. So board's too warped and magnets aren't strong enough, so I gotta pop them out, and then we're just gonna go with some like regular ass fasteners. We've got another piece of plywood we think will work a little bit better. We got a solid wood core, a solid MDF core, which should be a little bit more solid. Those are the words I was trying to use. So I'll pop these magnets out, fill them, and go from there. Just a good hour of my day wasted.
Alrighty, we're gonna go ahead and start the finish. Oh, I'm just gonna up the mic. Oh no. All right, we're gonna go ahead and start the finish process on the pieces of the table that are ready to be finished. So starting off, we have our front slabs that are going right in the front of the desk. I'm gonna go ahead and vinyl seal these, hit them with a pre-catalyzed lacquer, and we're just gonna keep getting parts in and out of the booth until we have everything finished so that we could then reassemble our table. Let us spray!
Let us spray! Oh, that's cool.
Welcome to the house. We got some new people in the mix. Love it.
Oh, look at the Jersey Shore.
All right, so Sam and I did something and we f***ed this thing up, unfortunately. So right now we're off center. We have 2-inch extra on one side than we do the other. We have no idea how we did that. And the thing is, we did center our pocket.
Right.
So at this stage,
okay.
Now I need to cut the table down smaller. And I absolutely hate when I have to do stuff like this. Such a dumb mistake. Such a dumb mistake. Fortunately, not the end of the world. So I'm gonna pick this up, turn it, and then cut 2 inches off of this. Then we're on to Sandy. Sam Malama, sand.
Pocket sand.
We're almost ready for finish.
Playground shit. What's that shit called? The seesaw? The seesaw? Got a kid here, they got a kid here. What the fuck is seesaw? Sure.
Oh, mother. Oh, fuck. All right, Jeffrey and I got her all loaded up, strapped up, ready to go. So we're gonna go ahead and get this over to John's. He's currently on a number of meetings right now, very busy. I hope that he likes it.
So we got the new office. The desk is gonna live right here. Obviously, we got to do some tidying, but I'm excited. It should look pretty good in the space, function really well. And I haven't actually personally seen it since Sam got the finish on, so I'm pumped. All right, Sarah just got home. Let's see what she thinks.
Oh my God, it looks so good. Wow. Oh, it's awesome. Wow, it's so nice.
Oh, it looks nice. It does look nice though. It's cool. Looks like Christmas lights in there.
Now Sam's going to give you the great reveal. So this is
okay.
how we made it a desk that works for both me.
I like that. Never mind. They did that nicely. That looks nice.
And you.
I like that.
Because you like to work on your tiny screens.
This is really, really beautiful.
This is cool.
That's going to be a wrap on this one. I think this thing turned out pretty sick. Let us know what you would have done different in the comments below, and then what we should build next.
That was cool. I like the way the top piece sat.